All right, Derek, what do you get when you combine the extreme relentlessness of a band like Napalm Death with the quirky, experimental sludge of a band like Melvins?
You get something that is sludgy, interesting at times, and also boring at times.
You wind up with Savage Imperial Death March, a
I know that.
collaboration by these two far out bands.
Yes, grindcore legends and Napalm Death, and frankly, the kings of sludge. King Buzzo is one of my heroes. Love the man, love the Melvins. I was really pumped when I heard about this collaboration, and sadly, this is my opinion. It was a chore to listen to. And you can flame me and feel free to flame me in the comments. But I would question, and this is what I'm going to ask you, is this record better than a new Napalm Death record? Or is this record better than a new Melvins record? And if you can say yes, then more power to you.
I can't say yes, but here's what I can say. That Melvins, I was a big Melvins fan back in the day. And one of the things that I liked so much about Melvins was how far out they were. Like, they do not and have never followed any conventional guides as far as what they do musically. And I think that's why I was so drawn to them. I mean, you take a track like Eye Flies, which is just like 6 minutes of wild, abstract craziness, but it was still cool as hell. And that's what first drew me to Melvins. And I like that they are so left field. I don't know Napalm Death as well as you do, but I know enough that I too was really intrigued by this collaboration. Now, we've got Buzz Osborne, King Buzzo, and Dale Crover on drums from Melvins. From the Napalm Death side of things, Barney Greenway on vocals, Shane Embry on bass, backing vocals, and John Cook on guitar and backing vocals. So it's an interesting, mashing together of these two pretty wild bands.
Well, and it was recorded at the Melvins studio in Los Angeles. And this feels like it's recorded like a Melvins record.
I would agree. I think that the album had more of a Melvins flavor to it than Napalm Death. It was Melvins with some Napalm Death elements in it. Would you say that's a fair statement?
I have a note here. It says identity crisis. And the identity crisis is that this is probably 90% Melvins and 10% Napalm Death. And I love Napalm Death. And I was there since the beginning. There are times in my life where I just wake up and I say, I need to listen to Napalm Death. And I do. And I was looking for the velocity of Napalm Death mixed with the quirkiness of the Melvins. And I just felt like it was buried. What velocity is in this record is just buried behind noise and Melvin-esque weirdness, which again has its place. I would have loved to see a 50-50 trade-off of some speed, some grindcore mixed with some of that weirdness with the dueling vocals.
Yeah.
But the 90-10 split just for me was really disappointing.
Yeah, so we seem to agree on that it really felt more Melvins than Napalm Death. I will say this, that I've over the past 10, 15 years, I've been so into music that is super tight, really clean, polished production and things like that, I did enjoy listening to this record because it is not tight and the production is good. It is its own style for this album, but this is, I don't want to say sloppy, but it's messy. It's Melvins messy. And, they don't worry about playing to a grid. They're not playing to any kind of click tracks.
No.
But I do wonder, you bring up an interesting point that because this was recorded at Melvin's home studio, if it wasn't easier for them to be a little more relaxed and for the Napalm Death guys to kind of fall into the Melvins ethos of how they write and record.
It's obvious that the guys in Napalm Death are obviously fans of the Melvins and let that happen. And I think that if they had, flexed their muscles and sat in the studio and said, you know what, we're fucking Napalm Death. Let's be badass in addition to being quirky. Then I think we would have had something that would be a little bit more, tasty to listen to. It's just a lot of filler, lacking substance on the record. There's a lot of just noises and things. And I was painting listening to it going, and I just kind of I was like, next. There's too much filler just going on of like feedback and I just
Well, that to me, though, that's very Melvins-esque,
yeah.
Track 2, Some Kind of Antichrist. That's 9.5 minutes. And like the first couple of minutes of the song is, like the back and forth between Buzz and Barney is pretty killer. You get the trading vocals with Barney's just, grinder of a throat style vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shifts into this super spaced out psychedelic kind of break with these massive verbed out drums and that sequenced synth pattern that just kind of goes through to the end, that quirky Melvins-ness
It was
that you were talking about. And it's sort of,
atmospheric Melvins, but
yeah.
irritatingly so when you've got
Well,
Napalm Death in the room with you.
If you're looking for what Napalm brings, this is probably not the album that you're going to find it on.
Well, that's the problem. You just nailed it right there.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to do a collaboration, let Napalm Death spread their wings every now and then. Like instead of having endless feedback and synth, let them freaking riff. Where's the aggression? Where was it? Very little.
I mean, you move to, let's see, Stealing Horses, track 6 on the record. It's up tempo. It's, I think, probably as close to Napalm Death in terms of just tempo as you're going to get on the record. I do like that track. It's got some cool qualities, like that main riff is both somehow manages to be like have a major feel and a minor feel at the same time. The big doubled vocal tracks and all that, the melodic guitar lines, it's like a big wall of sound. But at the end of it, it's still more Melvins than it is Napalm Death.
It's a sonic experiment with Napalm Death at the Melvins studio that failed. It does not have the heavy. And to me, this is a record that's going to be, and please don't crucify me, it'll be in the $5 bin at the vinyl record stores before long. It's not going to be one of either band's finer moments. It's kind of like the Lulu record for Metallica.
Yeah, I would guess that, Napalm Death fans are going to go, yeah, this isn't really the Napalm Death that, we know and love. Melvins fans are going to say, yeah, I like this. It's more probably because it's more Melvins than Napalm, but I don't disagree that it's probably not going to land on an album of the year list. I think that's a safe guess.
Well, I'm not
Which is
wrong.
Too bad because I was really excited for it too.
I'm not wrong, and I got called a narcissist today, and so I'll own it. But Krang said Cleaves closer to Melvin's sonic signature. The results are as weird and experimental as anything you can find from the Melvins.
Yeah.
And they're, again, I think what is missing is the mention of Mr. Barney and Napalm Death. Glide Magazine, eccentric album that is transcendent at times and maddening at others. Metal Trenches. This is where the album is a bit hit or miss for me. Experimental moments like awful handwriting feel fillerish in between the heavy grooves. So
I was just going to bring that track up too. Yeah.
Well, and what I did too was I took these quotes and I tried to forget about them. And obviously some of it subliminally came out. Sure. But I think that these are all fair quotes about the record.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't really find fault with any of them. Yeah, awful handwriting, the third track. It's just a strange, like pseudo electronic track with this bizarre vocal chant throughout it that both somehow makes sense because it's Melvins, but at the same time doesn't make sense at all. I mean, and then on the other hand, nothing has really ever been off the table for Melvins, so why the hell not? But it didn't feel like one of the more substantive tracks on the record for sure.
Yeah, well, look, it lacks bite. I was expecting Melvins with bite. And I didn't get it, and that is okay. It's not for me, but there are people out there that this will probably say in the comments that we're tools for not loving it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But we say this all the time. Music is subjective. What does it for one person may well not do it for somebody else. And, what doesn't do it for me may do it for you. So we can't love everything that we hear for sure. And that's not to say that this album doesn't have some positive attributes. I think it does. There's some stuff on here that I like. But overall, like I said, it's not going to make it on an album of the year list for me.
No,
I don't know if this is one that I'm going to run back to, and put it into my liked albums on Spotify. I'm just not sure about that. Which is kind of a bummer because I hearken back to my youth when Melvins were just everything and anything Melvins was the coolest shit out there.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
Well, and look, it's a hard pass for me. I wanted to like it. I really did.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, I just couldn't do it. And that's okay. You can't love everything. But if I may, one thing that we tend to do these reminders every now and then that, and this is about love, is love your kids. You know, if you are a parent that's out there, let your kids be innocent. Let them, don't talk about adult stuff in
Yeah.
front of them. Don't make them grow up faster than they are. Just keep the adult stuff to yourself. You know, it doesn't have to be that way. Kids are kids, and let them enjoy toys and Santa Claus and innocence and the feeling of your first crush and all those things. And don't stomp on their lives and them growing up because of your adult BS.
Yeah.
And I think that that's just the message that I wanted to portray. If it gets through to one parent and they look in the mirror and go, "Yeah, you know what? I'm not letting my kids stay innocent. I need to be better." Then
Yeah.
I've done my job.
Yeah. I think the core of what you're getting at is if you don't like the Melvins Napalm Death album, don't force that opinion on your child. Let them love it or hate it on their own. Do I
So
have
bring
that
it
right?
all back around. You're very good as a host. Nice job. Good job.
No, man. I'm sorry. I'm a dick. I don't disagree with what you said, though, man. Life is so short and so fucked up, and people are fickle. Kids have the opportunity to just be innocent and not have any idea how hard life is going to get when they get older. Let them enjoy that innocence and doing dumb shit because they don't know any better, because it goes away way too early anymore.
It does. And I think that social media and communication, the constant communication, it takes away kids' ability to stay innocent. And
Yeah.
they don't want to. They want to run as fast as they can to being adulty.
Yeah.
And then once they get there, they start having adult themes in their life and start going, oh boy.
Well,
I don't
hell,
like this.
these days, kids are getting the adult themes when they are 100% still kids.
Mhm.
And that's what's really scary for me. I mean, I became an adult. All I wanted to do was turn around and run backwards. I'm pushing mid-50s now, and all I want to do is have zero responsibility and get on my bike and ride to the convenience store.
Well, I remember my big issue at 10 years old in 1984 was my dad really didn't like Slayer. And he's
Yeah.
like, I don't want you
Yeah.
listening to that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, too bad. And then my mom was cool because she was an opera singer and she taught music at school and taught
Your
kids
mom
how
had
to
great
play.
musical taste. Yeah.
She did. I mean, even on her deathbed, she was watching Slayer on like one of the movie channels at the time. This is like, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago. But, she used to, I remember her buying and Justice for All and Ride the Lightning for the kids at Thetford Academy to learn how
Yes.
to play.
Go, Mom.
And yeah, and my friend Jamie Hosley, who's in a very successful band up here in Vermont and New Hampshire, the Conniption Fits. Yeah, my mom went and got him. He was totally into Metallica and went and bought with the budget Ride the Lightning for him to learn and taught him how to play. And again, he was gifted. It didn't take much to teach him how to play Metallica.
Yeah.
But still, it
Are
was
you
cool.
saying it's not hard to learn Kirk Hammett guitar solos? Is that what you're saying, Derek? Are you saying if you have a wah pedal, you too can sound like Kirk Hammett?
Well, maybe, but he's a bassist and he was playing Cliff Burton's stuff.
Okay.
And he really liked Cliff. So, but yeah, a good shout out to my mom. Good memories there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And your boys in the Conniption Fits, too, for that matter. And
Yeah,
I meant to ask you, I don't know, I just saw today, we're recording this on Earth Day. Happy Earth Day to you, Derek.
A happy Earth Day.
I just saw that Slayer announced 2 dates. I don't know what the dates are, where, but I saw that they are playing 2 shows. They just announced it.
One is in Minnesota. I know that. And
Well,
then
of
I didn't
course.
see what the other one was. My friend Mark had actually sent it to me, and he's been looking for any reason to go to a show. And then he was trying to get Metallica tickets at Mohegan Sun because he lives in Connecticut. And then he saw the prices, and that's
But
what
he
led
hasn't
to
robbed a bank lately, so he can't afford them?
No. I did tell him to actually go, like, I guess some of these people that are out on the street asking for money at stop signs are making a fortune. And I said, well, maybe you can do that. If you
Are they doing that because they want to go see Metallica too?
Yeah, probably.
Their corporate job isn't paying enough to afford a Metallica show?
$1,000 a ticket, $600 to sit in the back of the room. And that's why we did that blog post. And, I had fun putting gain on with all the don't tread on me, James, and all that stuff. It was kind of fun to make. But and one more thing, by the way, everybody who hates AI, okay.
Yeah, it's cool. No problem.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. You got your thing. I got my thing. It's all fine.
Hate away. If there's artists out there that want to do some gain stuff, let us know. DM us. You can. Gain is free reign. Feel free to put gain in with any of your favorite bands, and we will post it. If
you're an
artwork.
artist and you would like to, do some cool band related artwork or something, absolutely, would love to see it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Send it to us. In fact, post it. Do it.
I mean, our 3 followers will appreciate that. They appreciate seeing your artwork.
Yeah, well,
post it anyway, but send it to us and we'll post it too. Well,
we're approaching 100,000, views over the last 30 days across things, and so we don't have three followers, but we like to say that keeps us humble.
All right, well, listen, not every record is a winner. This one was not a big winner for either of us. I think I may have liked it a little bit more than you, but that's totally cool. So hopefully the next album we talk about will be one that we're both over the moon about, because it is way more fun getting excited about a record than not.
I am pumped about the next one that we're doing.
Nice. Well, we can say what it is. Yeah. We're doing Mosaic by Detonate. Would you call them prog metal? They're progressive metal, right?
I would say they're prog, yeah.
There's some thrash in there.
It's a bite.
Yeah. Well, it's a great record.
Yeah,
it's a great record.
We're opening the kimono on that too soon. We can't do that. And by the way, idea of you doing the kimono and me doing the kimono is like something, it's a nightmare, and we should probably end the podcast.
We should probably. Okay. On that note, we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.